The Sierra EV Denali is a dazzling electric pickup truck, and as equipped, it's about $100,000. Is it worth it? We'll discuss.
Here's how much the Sierra EV Denali costs.
In GM speak, Denali means fancy. And if you look around, we have open pore wood trimmed seats that are lovely leather, perforated, yet it looks kind of restrained. But personally, I appreciate a restrained interior.
There is so much storage in here. There's room for several bottles in your door, a sauce pocket, this huge center console, which doesn't have a latch. Turns out it doesn't need one.
Yeah, Gravity's a pretty good latch. It's kind of reconfigurable. You got a little phone zone here, but if you slide it back, then there's a hidden phone zone with power ports, and then you can move these cup holders fore and aft. There's also cup holders back here, great door storage in the rear area. One quick interior complaint, while it does look kind of dazzling and fancy, this metallic trim all over here, depending on the sun angle, shoots light right into my eyes. I'm gonna put on my Flying Eyes sunglasses. This is a really helpful reminder that being able to see clearly is critical when you're a pilot, but it's also important if you're riding a motorcycle or driving nearly 9,000 pounds of electric pickup truck. If you're curious to learn more about Flying Eye's unique traits that make them perfect for pilots, but also drivers and motorcyclists, and also what allows them to do this cool bendy move, click the link in the description below, and if you use the promo code Micah to buy them, you will save 10%. Moving to the seats, they're heated and ventilated up front, though no massage function, which is a little bit dismaying in a vehicle this expensive. Generally pretty comfortable, although because of this little stitching division right here, I have a little bit of a pressure point.
These seats do seem generously sized to accommodate different sized people. I stopped saying bodies because you say that makes it sound like I'm carrying around corpses.
The season 12 twist where you wind up being a serial killer, it's like, oh, obviously they've been conveying that for a long time. Where I am truly dazzled by this interior is space. One, I'm really far from you right now, but two, you go to the back seat, the leg and foot space and head space is outrageous. Kiddo, how do you find sitting back there?
The seats on the side are very big, and the middle seat is surprisingly big for a middle seat.
What about climbing in and out of the Sierra EV?
It's a very big car, and if it didn't have a little step, then it would be extremely hard to climb into.
I'm kind of bummed I said I was dazzled by the interior size, because really where I'm truly dazzled, the multi-pro tailgate. The top section comes out, and you can use that for carrying extended items, and then there's a little flip out that can hold stuff, but then it also functions as a step down low.
And you can use it to get ripped when you're trying to put all that back into place.
Which of my closing approaches looks less awkward to you? Tell us in the comments. Regarding the tailgate, it has a power release, but it doesn't have a power up, although it is an assisted lift. The bed itself has tie downs. We also have power back there. It's a very functional space, but then it becomes even more functional because we've got a mid-gate. Maybe it's because I'm an 80s kid, I love a transformer, but you can flip down the seat backs, create a little pass-through if you have a long item, and you can do that even if you have a passenger in the right rear seat. You can also flip up the pass-throughs, remove the glass, and there's a little storage area on the seat backs, and then you can flip the whole thing down, and you have just this huge wide pass-through. Personally, I like the idea of just removing the rear window because I like a breezy interior. I'd probably drive around like that all the time. Standard bed length is 5 foot 11 inches, but with that mid-gate folded down, you can haul something that's like 10 feet, 10 inches long. I think about my buddy Brian, who's a contractor. This would be a very adaptable vehicle for somebody who needs to occasionally carry long loads, Brian. Sweetie, what's the car seat situation?
There are 3 top tethers, also lower anchors in the outboard positions. I'm 5'2", behind a generous front seat position for myself. There's room for a rear-facing car seat.
As for safety, neither the NHTSA nor IIHS have rated the Sierra EV, but it does come with a full suite of active driver assist technology standard, plus 8 airbags. Family, what do we think? Is the Sierra EV Denali family friendly?
Yay! It is rich family friendly.
Rear window test. All the way down! Your thumb is justified. Boop. Armrest tests. Driving in a comfortable 8 and 4, easy access to the inboard and outboard armrests. I would like a little bit more padding under here because that's pretty firm on that edge. And same deal on the outside.
No, your elbows.
Thank you for your elbow concern, family. I'm going 70% inboard, 70% outboard. Moving onward to style.
It's gotta be really difficult to make something look this brawny, yet so clearly electric.
The secret is lighting.
And hood bulges. Bulges are brawny, right?
I certainly hope so. An interesting detail is the fact that there is no gap between the bed and the cab. Honda went out of their way, even though they had a unibody truck, to create a gap. Here, they didn't bother creating an artificial gap. They're like, it's built on a different platform, so let's let it be what it is. An item that really jumped out to me, 24-inch wheels. I believe these are the largest wheels on any vehicle we've ever tested. And what's even more amazing is that when I walked up to the vehicle, I didn't think those wheels look huge. I thought, well, it looks pretty proportional.
It does. I have a complaint about the exterior. There's a lot of shiny black plastic. We were driving off-road and it got so covered in dust. It looks terrible when it's covered in dust.
Related to the exterior, we've got so many cameras placed around the outside, ton of 360 visibility, and you can actually add cameras so you can see like what's happening with your tow rig. I also like that you have a camera that will show you what's happening in the bed. If you got that thing loaded up and you're like, is the stuff still there? You can verify. Last observation, the only color that's not an extra charge is white. And if you're thinking, ooh, I really like the color of your tester, that is Moonlight Matte, and that is $4,000. So,
wow.
But like if you're spending $100,000 on a truck, like, $4,000. So, what do you guys think of the Sierra EV Denali? Do you like its style? Do you dislike it? Some nuanced position in between? Tell us in the comments. Oh, the vehicle's telling me we're about to crash. We're not.
It also accused me of trying to hit a pedestrian earlier.
It's got a very judgy quality to the Sierra EV. Moving onward to In Motion. The curb weight for the Sierra EV Denali is like more than 8,500 pounds, almost 9,000 pounds. With that much mass, you're thinking, what's that thing like to drive? I find it to be a perfectly pleasing drive.
For a truck, it's pretty smooth.
True. Now I've gone into the drive modes here. It's telling me I'm about to crash again. I've set this up to be maximally comfortable. Light steering and the softest suspension settings. Got a little bump here. Let's see what happens. If you want a comfortable ride, it can do that for you. When you're cornering, it's like you start to get to the edges of the tire's limits pretty early. Fairly slow steering ratio. Not that I'm expecting it to be sporty, just something to note. There's one bump when I'm coming up the hill. It's a mid-corner bump, and I always use that to see how unsettled a vehicle is going to get. This thing did great. I did get to use Supercruise, which is their hands-free driving feature. It's a one-button operation, which makes it very, very simple. It steers itself, maintains speed, keeps its distance between you and the vehicle ahead. You get like this good positive reinforcement here on the steering wheel. It'll go green when you are indeed super cruising. It'll also do a thing like automatic lane changes. It just kind of chooses to do that. That generally works well, but there was a moment where it decided to get into the left lane and then the road jogged aggressively to the right.
It didn't tell you anything about that truck?
I know, I'm shocked too. I saw it. Anyway, during that little maneuver where it just decided to go to the left, if I hadn't intervened, I probably would have hit a concrete barrier.
Oh my gosh.
But it did warn me, hey, look out, construction zone. Even after that, I was like, I'm still comfortable taking my hands off the wheel, as long as I'm mindful of what's going on. It's not a mind-free driving feature, it's a hands-free driving feature. Let's come off the accelerator and see what it feels like coming to a stop using one pedal drive. Is this smooth?
Mm-mm.
No, that could have been smoother. Now I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to try and do that using the brake pedal and see if I can beat its smoothness. Am I smoother?
Slightly smoother, but not smooth.
Yes. One thing I do like about the way it brakes is that there's this paddle over here. You can control like a potentiometer, so you can really kind of dial in the amount of decel you get. On the other end of the spectrum, that's floored.
Woo!
Reasonably quick, but that is not the quickest option. There's a button over here in the modes. Kiddo, should we try maximum acceleration?
Yes.
Okay. Count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, God.
That counts as a scream.
It's so funny, you can have a vehicle this big, this heavy, but with the right electric motors and enough juice, you can really haul. Interestingly, I read a review that was talking about how, like, boy, this thing is like really wild when you accelerate, like it's almost like dangerous or something. I didn't feel that at all. Quick supplemental acceleration thought: at max acceleration on a less even surface, I did notice a little bit of tugging of the steering wheel. For example, see the steering wheel tugging just a little bit. It's not crazy, but you know, keep your mind engaged when you're driving at max acceleration. We've been dancing around it, but we do have a few different modes to work with.
Sometimes in the My modes, they have kind of ethereal names for things, and I'm like, what does that do? This is very clear.
The Excalibur mode. What are you doing? Let's briefly go off-road. What do we have working for us here? We have about 9 inches of ground clearance. We also have dual motor 4-wheel drive. And then, because we've got 4-wheel steering, we can angle those rear tires the opposite direction of the front if we want to tighten the turning circle, or the same direction And I'm not exactly sure why we would do that, but let's do it. Crab walk. If you don't make that noise when you activate it, it just won't work. It's like we're hovering sideways, but with 4 tires touching the ground.
And what's the top cutoff speed on crab walk?
25 miles an hour. Above that, this will just stop. But like right here, I need to go down that way, and we're kind of like going a little sideways into it. I don't know when we would use this, but knowing that it's there, maybe we can find a use case. Last thought, we're on 24-inch wheels, and let's say you slash a tire on a road rock. There is no spare tire, and I'm not sure where you're getting a replacement. Keep that in mind if you're off-road. That's what I think about driving the Sierra EV. What does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. Can you demo something for me?
Sure.
Go all the way down on the left and see if we can do a U-turn here.
Ooh, there's not a lot of room. This is a really big truck. Are we good?
Boop. Yeah, we're good.
Dang.
That's
very impressive.
That is the power of 4-wheel steering. By the way, while you're steering there, how do you find steering efforts?
Oh, steering efforts are very light. This actually drives pretty easily for me.
It has some attributes in terms of visualization and that 4-wheel steering that make it more manageable than you'd think. And then what about visibility around you?
Visibility is good all around with the exception of over my left shoulder.
Did you find it at all disconcerting driving this thing with all that power?
No, in fact, when I read the power figures after I had driven it, my jaw dropped. I didn't realize how powerful it was.
When you're just driving around, it's quick, but it's not like blindingly quick. But that extra power is just a button away when you want it. If we were in the market for a full-size pickup truck, electric or otherwise, are there any game killers that would keep you from driving a Sierra EV?
Surprisingly, no game killers here.
Amazing! I'm getting back in the driver's seat. Well done, sweetie. You drove a very large pickup truck with a lot of power and everything was okay. Let's move onward to remarks. We have an 11-inch digital gauge cluster in front of me. There's a 14-inch head-up display. And then this big display is 16.8 inches. You have physical buttons down at the bottom.
I found everything I needed easily.
There is no Apple CarPlay, and that would drive me crazy because we are Apple people. Anytime I have an obligation, my calendar tells me where it is and when it is. That's all seamlessly integrated into Apple CarPlay. This makes that much more difficult. I would basically have to alter my digital lifestyle to meet the needs of the vehicle. I don't want to do that. I'm a lazy man. Getting back in the praise train, we do have Teen Driver, which is a feature that allows you to get a report card on how your young drivers are operating the vehicle. Kiddo, just knowing that if you were to drive this, I might get a report on what you did wrong, would that keep you from doing bad things in the car?
I don't know. Probably.
You could not have answered that in a more teenager-like way. And now let's take a look under the hood in a test inspired by my buddy Brian. How you open the hood on the Sierra EV. Let's see, you can double tap the fob. There's a button over here by the driver's left knee. But if you look close underneath that front camera, there is a button to open it there as well. That is a standard power-operated hood. And underneath that, 11 cubic feet of cargo space. You got power in there. You got like a drain. The grill comes up with the hood, which makes it easy to slide in heavy objects or more easily access your cuddly unicorn. If you look on the right side, that's where you add the washer fluid. And if you're wondering what the Sierra EV Denali's horn sounds like, all right, let's talk engine choices. The Sierra EV comes with the standard dual motor 4-wheel drive setup with 2 battery choices. Max tow is 10,000 pounds, and for charging, it's got an 800-volt architecture. GMC says that with the right charger, you can gain 100 miles of range in 10 minutes, but they don't state the 10 to 80% DC quick charge number. Based on battery size, I suspect it is a big number. You can get an optional NACS adapter so you can charge your GMC Sierra EV at Tesla superchargers. Something cool you can do with your Sierra EV, GMC says it can power a house for like 21 days, assuming you're not using too much electricity. As people who live in a community that have occasional power outages, especially during winter time, that would be helpful, though you will have to buy extra equipment.
Sweetie, please share our trim recommendation.
I will. Our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential features you'd regret not getting, but at the lowest possible price. The base Sierra EV Denali extended range comes loaded. If that price doesn't make you gasp, then you might as well spend an extra $8,500 for the max range version, because you will never regret having extra range in an EV. Let's quickly hit on what's updated for the 2026 model year, because we're driving in 2025. There are 2 new trims. There's the Elevation trim, which is the mainstream one, and then there's an AT4 that has 2 extra inches of ground clearance, more tow capacity, plus all-terrain tires. You'll notice that those 2 trims each offer 2 different battery choices. Then the Denali trim gets a 3rd battery choice for 2026. Some of those prices have dropped. In fact, the Denali extended range is more than $14,000 cheaper for the 2026 model year. Use that knowledge however you want. Getting back to this video's original premise, is this thing worth 100 grand? You're making a face. Okay, so there's a few things working in its favor. We've got some unique features like crab walk, you got this glass roof, exceptional range, and I really like that mid-gate functionality plus that multi-pro tailgate. This feels like a fancy truck that you could do some legit work with if you wanted to. That said, for us, I think we'd get enough range, enough performance, a fancy enough interior, and enough pragmatism from a dual motor version of the Rivian R1T for a lot less money.
And have enough money left over to fill the back with puppies.
Puppies? $20,000 worth of puppies? Maybe too many puppies.
Maybe they're fancy puppies.
Maybe it's a butler puppy, and you could have like 9 of them.
Butler puppy? We decided to go with the Rivian with our 9 butler puppies. It's a decision we stand by. Of course, the 6-figure thing only applies to the Denali, and there are cheaper options for the Sierra EV if you want them. Other EV pickup competitors worth considering include the Sierra EV's platform mate, the Chevrolet Silverado EV. There's also the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Tesla Cybertruck. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comment section. And now it's our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature in the GMC Sierra EV Denali?
I like crab walk a lot.
Oh my gosh, we found a use case to delight our 9-year-old child. Family, we found a use for crab walk, and I think we've done a good job reviewing the Sierra EV Denali. May I have a 5? Ugh. And a 5. And you way over there. Come get your high five. Blammo! And now please enjoy our AI-generated synopsis song about the Sierra EV Denali.
With a whispered alarm and a patient seer in the thunder of the future, you're paying the